seen a lot of frustrating losses. We all have. We're Cleveland fans. But what happened to the Cavs Tuesday night at the hands of the Indiana Pacers? Wow. And we record our show on Thursday, and somehow I've only gotten more angry as time has gone on. After the Cavs fall into an 0-2 hole, they blow the 20-point lead. You know I'm going to get to the lane violation stuff with the Cavs as they are down now to the Pacers. That game on Tuesday night was one of the most remarkably crazy bad games that I've ever seen. Being a Cleveland sports fan, we got a lot of Cavs to talk about, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We're down 0-2. We'll talk about the injuries. We got a special guest to talk a bunch of Cavs with us on today's show. We'll get to all that coming up. Browns rookie minicamp as well. Who cares about Shedeur Sanders' numbers? Seriously, we'll get to all that coming up. The guards playing well. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler, and we are so happy to be joined on this week's show by Danny Cunningham, Locked On Cavs. He was there. I blame him for the loss because he was in the building. That's just how that's going to go. We'll talk nothing but Cavs coming up with Danny. So happy to have you alongside right here on Big Play. Be following on Twitter X at Big Play. We're at Matt Fontana Show. Instagram and YouTube is Big Play. Of course, you can always catch us on Fridays at 4 o'clock on The Rock, presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford, Pure AV, and Garage Beer. Danny, first off, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in to recap that. I
thought I was here to talk about Shedeur Sanders' number.
Well, we'll get to
I thought
that coming
that's
up
what
as
we
well.
were opening. I was told we're talking about number 12 on the Browns.
Because it's the most important thing going on in this town right now. Of course, Danny, Locked On Cavs across all your platforms, wherever you get it. I can only imagine that your numbers spiked as they have in the playoffs this week. But recapping that Game 2 loss where, listen, the Cavs were down. DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. We'll talk about Donovan Mitchell on the, I say Herculean, but it was really LeBronian. I'm gonna coin that term right there. That was very much LeBron of taking this just group of guys and going, I'm gonna drag you to this win. Did everything you could. It just falters in so many ways late. Kenny Atkinson says they run out of gas. The continued conversation about the physicality, about the refereeing, but I can go no further without bringing up this lane violation. And it's, I'm going to try to keep this on the rails for all the fine people. Just, how is that not a violation?
It is.
It is.
It is. The last 2-minute report came out, which of course just made everybody mad all over again. And I know you're mad right now.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you explain to everybody that what the 2-minute report, when you say that in the NBA, sometimes we hear it, sometimes don't really. Please explain to everybody what the NBA 2-minute report is for every single game that they have in the regular season playoffs, please.
So the last 2-minute report is when a game is within 3 points at any point in the final 2 minutes, which obviously this game decided by 1 point was. The NBA will put out a report of all of the calls that the officiating crew got correct and got incorrect. Some of them are calls that were not made that should have been made. Some of them are calls that were made that should not have been made. And during this game, the NBA said that there were 3 calls that were not made that should have been made. One of them was a defensive 3 seconds call on Donovan Mitchell that was not whistled. It's very rare to see a defensive 3 seconds call on the last 2-minute report, but the other 2 were both double lane violations during Indiana free throws. They said that both teams entered the lane early. On the one Aaron Nesmith putback dunk, he came in way early, so it should have been a jump ball at half court. That basket should not have counted. The Tyrese Halliburton offensive rebound before his 3-pointer, that also said both teams came in early, but Halliburton also crossed the line. And in the NBA, you are allowed to, as soon as the ball leaves the shooter's hands, that's when you're allowed to go, unless you're the shooter. The shooter has to wait for it to hit the rim. So he did not wait that long. That also should have been a jump ball at half court. We don't know what would have happened if those things were called.
Sure, right.
Like the Cavs very easily could have lost that game still. And I think they have. It's easy to look at that and say, well, the refs missed a couple calls. Well, the Cavs also choked pretty bad, I thought.
Yep.
But if those calls are made correctly, even more has to go wrong than what did go wrong. So I do think that probably adds more frustration to this for Cavs fans, certainly. And I'm sure the organization is not happy about it. And Kenny Atkinson commented about it a little bit after the game, but hadn't necessarily watched the film to know exactly whether or not he should be upset or shouldn't. So he didn't want to dive too deep into it. And we're recording this on Thursday morning, and we've not heard from Atkinson since. We'll hear from him later today, I do believe. So we'll find out more as far as that goes. But there's a lot to be frustrated about, and I think when that came out, Matt, on Wednesday, there was just another thing to kind of be steaming over.
My thing is, it was a review. You did not miss that in the scope of the game, in the real time of the game. You reviewed it. Now, what they were reviewing was goaltending. They wanted to make sure that Neesmith, the ball still wasn't in the cylinder or outside the cylinder for Duncan, but you see it here on the replay. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. And then I had trust me, because that tweet blew up, and I had a bunch of Pacers people tell me, well, look at the Cavs violation. Neesmith is a full 2 steps ahead of everybody else. Yes. Everybody else. And I get that they were looking for the goaltend. How do you not see that? And you're right, Danny. I don't know if that would have changed anything.
Well, and the other thing, I don't know if you can change that. I don't know if in the review, I don't know.
Who knows?
Because I thought it was silly that was reviewed. Like, in real time, that ball was very clearly out of the cylinder. It was. What are we looking for? Like, this was very clearly clean. I don't know if via that review you can go back and say, hey, yes, it was outside of the cylinder, but there was a lane violation. This is waved off. I don't know if that's allowed.
It's like, to use an NFL example, it's like if you challenge a play about a catch, you can't go and say, well, we'll go look at this other thing over here. You can't do that. They challenged on just that, not the other thing. So I guess you're right. Maybe I'm getting angry over nothing. They wouldn't have changed anything. Here's my order of anger. New segment coming to the Fontana Show. The order of anger that I have from Tuesday night. Number one, I don't want this lost. The Cavs could not inbound that basketball. And what Kenny Atkinson said after the game was, we ran out of gas because you're running, you're trying to get open, you got tired legs, they couldn't do it. And I get it. The Pacers were on the hunt. Great Leonard Skinner song. They were on the hunt to try to go and get that, so they had a little more energy. You couldn't inbound the ball. That's why you lost. Number two is my lane violation on my order of anger. Number three, you scored 3 points to start that fourth quarter. You started 5 minutes and you only scored 3 points. That's how you choke away a lead, is when you come out in that fourth quarter, at home, by the way, and you can't score. And number four, and we'll talk about him a little bit later, Ty Jerome. He couldn't do anything. There was something really wrong with him, in that, not physically, but he just couldn't hit a shot. It was in his head. It was snowballing, and it went bad. Like, that's it for me. And I understand that the Cavs lost that game. I'm not sitting here crying saying the referees took one away from the Cavs. They blew a huge lead. They got tired. They were down players, and you're down in an 0-2 hole now. But it's just all these things where the problem is, Danny, it's like I could look at any one of those things and say if just one of those things went differently. You hit a shot earlier. Jerome's got his shot. The lane violation. You get the ball inbound. Max Strus threw it away. Like, we're talking about a different game, and we're sitting there saying what a great effort from Donovan Mitchell and a bunch of other guys that stepped up to get the win. Cavs deserved to get that win, but they didn't. And that's maybe a problem, because I saw a lot of people say Cavs just thought they deserved to win that game, or they were up by that points, and that's how you choke it away.
So Max Strus hit that three-pointer with 1:06 left, and in that building, it felt like the first three-pointer that the Cavs made in about an hour and a half. I don't know exactly how long it was in real time, but they were, I think, 3 of 16 or 3 of 18 in the second half beyond the arc. It was a terrible shooting performance. And, there's a lot of things that you can look at during this series, the first 2 games, and say, well, that's why the Cavs lost. But ultimately, they were a team that shot nearly 40% from beyond the arc, and they're shooting 25% or 24% in these first 2 games on wide open three-pointers. And that's kind of why they're losing this series. There's another thing that I've not been able to stop thinking about with this loss, because I got a bad feeling about this game at the end of the third quarter. That is when I kind of said to myself, this is going to be, I think, a little more dicey than the Cavs want it to be. Obviously, at that point, didn't know they were going to lose the game, but I thought Indiana's definitely got to run. And the Cavs got to stop with like 16 seconds left in the third quarter, got the rebound. Isaac Okoro goes down the floor. He gets fouled by TJ McConnell, because he attacks the basket too early. Okoro splits the free throws, whatever. That takes a 16-point lead to a 17-point lead. But the problem is he didn't wait long enough in the clock. So now Indiana has time. Tyrese Halliburton flies down the floor, gets the ball to Aaron Nesmith in the left corner. He hits a three-pointer, so the Cavs lose 2 points in that transaction because the Cavs did not manage the clock well. They lose that game by 1 point.
Yeah.
Now, you can look at so many different things throughout the game and say, well, if this just would have done differently, if they would have done this better. But I felt like that three-pointer not only cut the score from 17 to 14, I felt like it gave the Pacers life that I just don't know that they had before that. And that is kind of outside of that final minute of the game. That's kind of the play I look at and say, if the Cavs just would have managed the clock a little bit better here, I think they win that game.
I agree with it. Ryan, thoughts on that game? Danny and I have talked about some of the things that have angered us a lot. Like, is there something as you sit back, something we mentioned, something else just that you're pointing at saying that was kind of it for me?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, they threw it away. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain about the refs. I mean, how many games do we see that something should have been called and that's how it is? You choke away a lead. You're outscored 8-0 in the last 50 seconds. You deserve to lose the game. There's really no way to put it. And as soon as Tyrese Halliburton stepped back, I knew the game was over.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Chris Jenkins in the March Madness final. As soon as he crossed half court and went and jumped, I knew it was game over.
And that's another thing, too. I tweeted about Ty Jerome. I go, I'll give the 2 up for the tie. You cannot let him get a clean 3 off. And Ty was playing to not let him drive, and then he stepped back. He hit a great shot. Pacers are up 2-0. All right, we got to recap some other parts of that game, talking about Donovan Mitchell, talking about Ty Jerome, and where the Cavs go from here, specifically with the injuries. That's all coming up. Danny Cunningham in for this week's show with Ryan and myself. Plenty coming up. Don't you feel good when you get a deal and the product you're looking for, Mother's Day is right around the corner? And I got something nice for my wife, and I got it on a nice deal. It's exactly what I'm looking for. It gives you that warm feeling inside. Fairway Ford gives you that all the time. And that's all that any of us ask for. A good deal on a product that we're looking for. That's what they have at Fairway Ford. The employee pricing is on. The sheer amount of cars and vehicles that are there. You can find your dream one. You're going to get a good deal. You're going to feel really good about it. Buying a car is not usually a snap decision. You do a lot of research. You do a lot of, looking around for it. Just add fairwayfordohio.com to your website search as you're looking around for that new vehicle. You got a son or daughter heading off to college. What do? You give them your car, and then you, mom or dad, get to get out there and get that new ride, or new to you with the pre-owned. And they have it for you at Fairway Ford. The employee pricing is on for everyone. So you're going to get that fuzzy, warm feeling where you can say, I got the perfect vehicle, the Ford product, which is just so great, and I got the deal that I was looking for. It's all we can ever ask for. And at the end of the day, too, that's what Fairway Ford wants. That's exactly what Fairway Ford wants. They want to get you a good deal on a great vehicle. The Broncos, the trucks, the Mustangs, the whatever you need out there, they've got you covered out there. I'm driving an Explorer right now. I love it. Danny is a new owner of a Bronco. Congratulations on that. It's a great vehicle. Go see him. fairwayfordohio.com. Short drive to Canfield, and they'll deliver it for you, too. Let me say this about Fairway Ford. They ain't going to be beat on the pricing, and they'll deliver it for you. That's just how they roll. Tell them we sent you, and they'll hook you up. fairwayfordohio.com. All right, more to dissect from this Cavs game, too. We'll do it next. Fontana Show right here on Big Play, part of the Rock Entertainment Sports Network as well.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play, part of the Rock Entertainment Sports Network as well. Matt Fontana, Danny Cunningham in this week. Ryan Tyler here as well, presented by our great friends at Garage Beer, Fairway Ford, and Pure AV. You want that golf simulator. Father's Day will be here before you know it. Looking for that golf simulator for dad? No better place to go than Pure AV. So we went down for our draft show a few weeks ago to see their layout, and boy, Brad and Don, they have just I was going to say pure, because that's what it is. It's Pure AV. It's just pure. It's clean. It's amazing. It's awesome. Everybody's got a different price point. They can work with you on that. Where are you trying to spend? Are you more in on the simulator? Or do you really want that nice screen? So we go over to their golf simulator. They go, Matt, it's not just golf. You can play zombie dodgeball on that golf simulator if you really wanted to, and then sit there. You could throw the game up. You want to hit your 5-iron at Tyrese Hale. Don't do that. That's not nice. But you do whatever you want. It is up to you on your dreams with Pure AV. And they can get it done for you in so many different ways. The technology, the 8K, the 4K, the Dolby Atmos surround sound. Outdoor. The really cool thing about Pure AV, they hide everything. You got wires hanging down places. You go outside, they got some outdoor stuff. Don't trip over that. No. Everything is just so hidden now. And just the 8K, their theater room. Whatever you want, whatever you're thinking about doing, pureavcorp.com is our website, pureavcorp.com. Check them out. It's free. Just go down and talk to them. You can sit down. You can bring some pictures of your house. Hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing over here. It's really endless on what you can do with Pure AV. So be thinking Mother's Day is already here. Missed that? Think about Father's Day. What a gift that could be for your dad out there with our friends at Pure AV. So the Cavs fall down 0-2 in this hole. And Danny, I don't want this to be lost. That I saw, I'm trying to rack my brain quick on this. I think that was the most LeBron game that I've ever seen since LeBron left here about what Donovan Mitchell did. I said it earlier. It's not Herculean, it's LeBronian of what he did in that game. 48 points, got to the free throw line 21 times. The one knock is what? He only had 1 3. That shot was not falling, but he was getting to the rack. He took a physical toll by having to do that. And it's just, again, they lose the game. We're all upset by that. But you wasted, honestly, one of the best single game efforts that I have ever seen for the Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell.
What Donovan did in this game was fantastic. He was, and I thought going into this game, going into game 2, the Cavs need a superstar effort. They have Donovan Mitchell. They traded for Donovan Mitchell for a number of different reasons, but near the top of that list was this guy's a superstar. And they didn't have a superstar. They had some really nice players. Darius Garland, I think Evan Mobley's on his way to being a superstar. But Donovan came in as a superstar, and they needed him on Tuesday to go be just that. And he answered the bell. Like, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. You look back at what he did in Game 6 against Orlando last year, where he has 50 points and nobody else for the Cavs really can do much of anything else. Like, when the Cavs have needed Donovan to answer the call, to sense the moment, one of the most impressive things about him is he just does it time and time and time again. And if you're watching that game, I think it's pretty easy to tell that he's not at 100%, Matt. Like, he's not close to 100% with that calf injury. And I think that's part of the reason why the shot is not falling for him. Like, he's 2 of 18 on 3-pointers in the first 2 games of this series. And if the Cavs are going to win, that is the number that needs to be better. He needs to be more efficient from beyond the arc. But he did everything the Cavs needed. That was a LeBron James type game. And there were people obviously very worried about all the injuries with Garland and Mobley and Hunter. But the way that I looked at that game is, well, yeah, that's all true. The Cavs are behind the 8 ball because of that stuff, and it's not a place you want to be. But ultimately, the Cavs have the best player on the floor, and sometimes in the playoffs, you just need that best player to go win you a game. And Donovan did absolutely everything he could have. I'm not saying anyone is absolved from blame just because of how bad that final minute was, but it's really hard for me to look at Donovan Mitchell and say, you could have done more. Like, that's just a really difficult thing for me to do.
So a guy I work with on ESPN Radio, Justin Tinsley, he gave me this a while ago, and I've stolen this, and I think it's so great about talking about an NBA series. You've got to win 4 games, right? Here's Justin's 2-1-1 rule. 2 games you usually win from your star player. A 3rd game you win from your 2nd or 3rd best player. And that 4th game is usually bench, Ty Jerome goes off, somebody you didn't see coming. And it's not always in that order. But he said, watch a lot of series to get to 4. 2 from your stars, a 3rd from your 2nd-tier guys, and then usually there's a game thrown in there from some random. All right, well, Donovan should have been a win on what he gave there. Let's talk about the rest. And I don't mean to just focus on Ty Jerome. Listen, I thought Max Strus, even though he's -14 on the plus-minus, and Cavs defense was not good in either one of these games, frankly. But Strus did what you asked. Jared Allen did what you asked. Sam Merrill did what you asked.
Yep.
Okay, Dean Wade, okay, fine. But then, Isaac Okoro, if the defense ain't going to be there, and I know Charles Barkley mentioned it, they're just going to leave him open in the corner and say, go ahead. We don't feel like you're going to hit that at a high clip anyway. Green and Porter, sorry. That's fine.
I think they should have played Javonte Green more.
I thought he was going to play a little bit more in that game, too. I'm with you. I 100% thought he was going to play more.
I think that's the one thing Kenny Atkinson regrets from that game is that
Probably.
Javonte Green didn't play more, because I think that he brings energy. He's also a vet. Like, it's easy to look at Craig Porter Jr. and say he should have been there more, but those were his first ever playoff minutes in a game that mattered. Like, he played some garbage time in the Miami series. He didn't play in the playoffs last year because of an ankle injury, and we all kind of forget that. But those were the first ever meaningful playoff moments for him. So I don't necessarily think he should have played more. I think Javonte Green should have. I'm with you. I thought Max Strus was fantastic. Thought Sam Merrill was great in this game. Jarrett Allen was awesome. He ran out of gas at the end. Isaac Okoro, good defensively, but he is just he's going to be left wide open. And he does a good job cutting to the basket at times, and that's how he got one of the baskets that he made in this game. But overall, the Cavs need shooting. Like, it is hard to play Isaac Okoro in the playoffs. It's even more difficult to play Isaac Okoro in the playoffs when the rest of the team is not hitting shots. Like, if the Cavs were shooting at their normal rates, making 38% of their three-pointers, if that's what they were doing in this series, one, they are up 2-0. Two, it's much easier to play Isaac Okoro, but they're shooting 25% on threes. When you're shooting that low on threes, it is hard to justify giving minutes to a guy that is not a good three-point shooter, that is going to be left wide open and takes away space from other guys that maybe need that space to hit those threes.
Ty Jerome. And I'm not trying to pile on him, because we all saw what he's able to do in the regular season and what a find that was. And again, a former first-round pick. He's been injured. He's been cut. Here he is. Moment was too big. And he probably went into that game thinking, I need to be a number 2 here to Donovan Mitchell. It's not even the shots, Danny. He was getting to the Ty Jerome spot. We all know what the Ty Jerome spot is. He drives, he hits it. It's usually a little fadeaway, but he somehow gets to like 6 feet. And during the regular season, those were perfect. Danny just didn't have them.
Yes.
And it tells me that was a mental thing. I hope a hurdle can be overcome here, and especially we'll talk about the injuries coming up in a little bit, about what the Cavs can get back. But, like, I'm not putting this loss on Ty Jerome completely. There's a lot of blame to go around, but 1 for 14 can't have that.
No,
I just can't have
it
that.
It was abysmal. I mean, I cannot think of a worse game that I've seen Ty Jerome play. I think he had a 1 for 8 during the regular season. And listen, these things happen. I don't know if it was the moment was too big, because you saw him in game 1 against Miami, and I understand that Miami and Indiana are two teams on very, very different levels as far as playoff teams go, but that was Ty's first playoff game, and he goes out and has 28 points off the bench and was awesome. So I think it was kind of more of just a thing where he did not have it. I don't know if it had anything to do with the moment, but he was getting to the spot that he normally gets to, as you mentioned. He makes that floater at what felt like an unsustainably high clip, but he sustained it all year. And then it felt like on Tuesday night, it all just came crashing back down to earth at once. If he makes 1 or 2 more of those, like, the Cavs are just in a much different position than they are. And I think that is one of the things that you look at, is you look back at the box score and say, man, that's a tough way to go out.
Especially 14 shots. Because there was a point
who
where
else
I'm
was
like,
going to take him?
well, that's the thing, too. I was like, if he can just hit 1 and get back, you can't get your shot back by not taking shots. Shooters got to shoot. And I was like, okay, it became so painfully apparent later in that game that he couldn't shoot it anymore. But up until that point, I was like, all right, keep going, keep trying to find this here. 1 will fall, and it just never happened. And that's what made it so tough, for the Cavs. And I think especially when I can only imagine that I was sitting at my house feeling this, like when he had the ball, and I was like, we're all sitting there like, ooh. Like, could you imagine how he's feeling, how the rest of his team is feeling, when you're like, is this going to go down? Okay, it didn't. All right, we're back on defense now. That's a tough way to go for a young player. I hope he can clear that. I hope he can get better, because you're going to need him in game 3. Let's look ahead now. Cavs are not done. I'm telling you right now, they're not done. They need to get game 3. We'll talk about how they do that, and we got to talk the injuries, because I'm going to get a little upset on how some people are viewing these injuries with the Cavs. We'll get to all that coming up. Fontana Show, Big Play, The Rock, of course, presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford, Pure AV, and Garage Beer. Back right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Appreciate you joining us here on the Fontana Show on The Rock on Fridays. You can always get it. Big Play. Download the Big Play app. Check us out on YouTube or Instagram, Big Play, or you can follow our show at Matt Fontana Show on Twitter X. He's Ryan Tyler. I am Matt Fontana. We're so happy to have Danny Cunningham with us on the show this week. So let's turn the page here. Let's move on forward here to Game 3 as we get ready to go in Indiana. We start with the injuries. And, Danny, I'm going to put you on the spot here. We do this Thursday morning before Kenny Atkinson spoke on Thursday, certainly before Friday, and they fly out. Best guess, won't hold you to this. That's a lie. I'm holding this to you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I got bets to cash here, buddy. Evan Mobley, we know he's got the ankle. Darius Garland, he's battling a big toe injury. And then, of course, the dislocated thumb on the shooting hand of DeAndre Hunter. Do you think any of them play, and which of those injuries are you most concerned about?
So my gut tells me that at least one of those guys plays in Game 3. I don't know which guy. As we record this, I'm not sure the Cavs know who is going to be available in Game 3 on Friday, but my gut tells me somebody that did not play on Tuesday is going to play for the Cavs on Friday. I think the two most likely options are probably Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter. Evan Mobley left the locker room on Tuesday night limping still, could not put all of his weight or walk normally, I guess, with that left ankle sprain. That is the thing that probably is the most concerning, considering I think he's probably the most important of those three guys. If you could pick one guy to get back, you would pick the defensive player of the year, the guy that's probably going to finish second team All-NBA. So I do think that that's a bit of a bad break just because he's the one I'm least confident in coming back. Now, that said, he has historically healed very quickly. Him coming back from this ankle injury on short notice wouldn't be the most shocking thing. I don't know what it has looked like from the time I last saw him Tuesday until we record this Thursday morning. These things can change. They get great care. But I do think and I don't know exactly who, but I do think at least one of the guys that did not play on Tuesday will play on Friday. And I think the Cavs very, very badly need that. Not just in terms of needing guys to play, but I think that can provide a bit of an emotional boost, too, that the team 100%. Probably needs at this point.
Yeah, we all need it at this point.
That was a good deep breath.
I need it, man, because doing this, Danny and I have been doing this a long time or whatever, and the dicey game that gets played with telling injured guys to play, I've never been a fan of that, okay? And I know this goes back to last season with the rib injury to Jared Allen and J.B. Bickerstaff's pot shots on the way out the door. The reports that have come out this week, the Cavs are sometimes overly cautious with injuries. People just get out there. Just what do you mean? Just cut your thumb off. DeAndre, get out there. Come on. Go Ronnie Lott that for me, Darius. Just cut your toe off and get out there. Dude, it angers me. It really angers me. Because you're believing that they wouldn't be out there if they could be. And I guess I could live in a naive world. How does that ever make any sense? That an NBA playoff game with your team already down 0-1, you don't think that they wanted to be out there? You don't think it's as simple as tape it up and you'll be fine? I hear that and it drives me up a wall. And I get it because you're frustrated because of how the Cavs are playing. You're looking for an easy solution. That's not it. To question these types of injuries at this point of the season tells me that you actually don't believe in this Cavs team. For the people out there that believe that, or the people out there that are spewing some of this stuff out there about, they didn't go out there and play. They must not be all that hurt. I'm sorry, are you a doctor? Are you an orthopedic surgeon? Did you see Evan Mobley's ankle? No, you have no idea. So we need to stop that. We need to nip that in the bud right now. It drives me up a wall when people are frankly speaking on stuff they have no idea about. And you say, well, I don't know either. You're right, I don't. I trust the organization. And more importantly, I trust those three guys that if they could have been out there, they would have been out there. And the whole, an 80% of this, or if they could have got out there and done something, I believe they would have. So to hear some of the narratives this week that got put out there about those three guys, it irritates me to the nth degree. I kept that on the rails a lot better than I thought I was going to. So we're on the rock. I can't be saying a lot.
The other thing that I do think is worth bringing up here, because this conversation bothers me as well. The Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter didn't not play in game 2 because they didn't feel like it. Like if they would have, if they would have been healthy enough to help the team, I assure you they would have played. And I think that this conversation sometimes too gets unfairly put on the players, because there are times, and I'm not saying that this is happening with the Cavs, I don't know, but there are times where teams will, like, guys will try and play, and teams will say, you're not healthy enough to help us right now.
They watch him in pregame workout, and there's guys, oh, no, I'm good. And they go, no, man,
they
we
know
saw it. No,
much more about the status of the players than we do.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to look at it and say, oh, Darius Garland doesn't want to play in this game. That's not true. That is not true at all. Like, Darius Garland is doing everything that Darius Garland can do in order to play for the Cavs in the playoffs. DeAndre Hunter, maybe if it was not his shooting thumb, if it was his left thumb, he'd be able to play. But trying to shoot the basketball 2 days after you dislocate your right thumb probably doesn't go that well, I would guess. I've not dislocated my right thumb, and I'm not an NBA player, so I don't know. But common sense tells me that a guy who shoots the basketball a lot probably wouldn't be able to do it nearly as effectively with his thumb banged up like that. So I do think that these guys really want to be out there. They're doing everything they can in order to be out there. Whether or not they can on Friday, I don't know. We will find out either later Thursday. So maybe we know as you're watching this, maybe the injury report's out and none of those guys are on it. I doubt that, but maybe that's what happens.
That'd be great.
If not, we'll find out Friday. And I think there's a chance somebody from that group plays, but they didn't sit on Tuesday because they didn't feel like playing.
Yeah.
They sat on Tuesday because they were not healthy enough to help the Cavs win. As soon as they are healthy enough to help the Cavs win and the Cavs feel comfortable with where they're at in terms of health, I assure you they will be on the floor.
And you did the right thing in sitting them because you should have won that game. What a steal that could have been and should have been, but you did the right thing by sitting those guys. All right, we got some football coming up. We'll get to the grid as well, sprinkling some guards. All comes your way. Fontana Show, Big Play, and The Rock. What's in a number? How important is a number to you? Because all this week it's been Shedeur Sanders, Tom Brady picked this number. It's been the story for the Browns. We get ready to go for rookie minicamp this weekend and our first real introduction to Shedeur Sanders. Fontana Show right here, part of Big Play and The Rock, presented by Fairway Ford, Pure AV, and our friends at Garage Beer. Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler, Danny Cunningham in with us this week. It's all been about Shedeur. He didn't get two because DeAndre Carter took it, and sorry about that. Like, Danny, I know that Shedeur is a brand, and that he's coming here with some hype and he's going to have the cameras around him. Let the kid live, man. Just let him go. And it's hard because he welcomes some of that, and I'm not yelling at him about that. That's the era that we're in with the NIL, and he's making good money and probably honestly took a pay cut by going to the NFL for this season. I get it all.
Well, with where he was picked, yeah.
Yeah, before.
If he got picked where he thought he was going to be picked, I don't know that it would have been a pay
pay
cut, but where he was picked, he is.
Like, and it's hard because I say that, and I am talking out of both sides of my mouth with this, where I understand where it comes from, but it's just like, why is everybody freaking out about what number this kid took? And I get that we're starved for Browns news. You're not going to get any for a little while. We'll talk to him this weekend. But it's like, we're already, and I didn't want to subscribe to this because RG3 had a clip where he started just yelling, the Browns are setting up Shedeur Sanders for failure. And I go, can you really set up a 5th round pick to fail?
Nope.
No, you cannot.
Nope.
No, you cannot. And I guess his draft position versus probably where he maybe should have gone or where he thought he was going to go, it's a little bit different. But it's like, just let the kid breathe a little bit. And I get it. He welcomes some of it on. I understand it. But it's like, just let the kid go. All I want to know is if he's going to be able to play quarterback and win football games for me. That's it.
So I guess my thing with this is had people in his camp not said anything, I don't think this would be a big deal.
That's a good point.
Because I think people are only mad because somebody, and I don't know his associate's name, but
we'll learn them soon.
I'm sure we will. But basically said that, the Browns did this and that they were upset and has since deleted a post on Instagram. And that to me is just, okay, well, I don't know that any people would have noticed, obviously, but you could have played the narrative a lot differently had that not been said. Like, Shedeur could have been asked about the number at rookie minicamp and then had the opportunity to say, you know what, this is the NFL. I want to have a fresh start. I wanted to change my number. Still like the number 2, wanted to put a 1 in front of it. That's all you could have, it is as easy as that. But this was made a story, and it's not because of Shedeur. It's because of people close to Shedeur. That's why this is made a story. So that's why I'm not going to necessarily feel bad about this. Like, I can't say Shedeur did this to himself, but it's not as if the common fan did this to him either. Like, this is a thing that his camp brought on him. And, you know, I guess maybe you subscribe to the thought that all publicity is good publicity, and this would certainly qualify as that, because what are we doing? We are sitting here talking about Shedeur Sanders and the number 12, so, like, maybe that goes along with it. But then the other thing you mentioned, you can't set up a 5th-round pick to fail. Like, you're a 5th-round pick. Chances are you are going to fail. If you were supposed to succeed, you'd be a 1st or 2nd-round pick, but you went in the 5th round. Like, you're not set up to fail there. You just might not be that good.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, his entourage is going to have to learn this, too, on the fly as he's learning. Ryan is the biggest Shedeur Sanders fan that I know. I'm sure the jersey's on, or the number 1 selling jersey, by the way, after the draft. Ryan, what do you make of this whole I'm defending your guy here. I'm defending your boy. I'm trying to let the guy figure some things out on his own.
Yeah,
you know?
It's interesting because I haven't heard Shedeur say anything. It's all been external people, whether they're fans or whether they're actually a part of his entourage, if that's the word we want to use. I find it very difficult to get myself worked up over caring about what somebody's number they're wearing is. I wouldn't care if it was a Cam Ward, a number 1 overall pick. DeAndre Carter picked that number. He got it. He's a veteran. I think 12 is a better quarterback number anyway. I mean, the correlation is there. Tom Brady is kind of your quote-unquote mentor.
His dad was 21.
Both number 12. I love the number. And listen, Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns sooner than later.
I love it. He's riding, and I love it. We got a ride here with the Immaculate Grid. Danny's in to help us with a little bit of football. We'll get to it next. Fontana Show. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Pure AV, luxury home automation. Experience your dream smart home by visiting pureavcorp.com.
All right, you know how the Immaculate Grid works if you're new to our show. First off, we appreciate you watching us here on The Rock or on our social channels there on Big Play. Welcome back, Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler, Danny Cunningham. The Grid, let's roll. Here we go. Oh, a little. Ryan, look at you with the 3-shot over there. All right. Pretty simple. Player
called production, man.
He's the best. He's so good. All right, Danny's here to help us go. 5,000 receiving yards. That's AJ Green. He probably got 5,000 against the Browns, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Well, he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's good there. Old friend
Julio.
Did you see they gave his number out to a rookie?
I did not.
11.
Wow.
Gave it to a rookie. I don't know about that.
Randy Moss.
Yes. Well, no, because we could use him Patriots.
Oh,
we could just go Jettas. He definitely
He's
has.
got to have 5 by now,
Yeah,
right?
100%. Like year 5? You're going into year 5?
We could do
he
Adam.
Missed a lot of time with injury last year.
That's true.
We
he
could
did.
do Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen
Adam
or
Thielen
Stephon
fits.
Diggs.
That'll
No,
play.
Diggs works.
Well, if you're going to use Patriots Vikings for Diggs, he hasn't played yet.
We'll just use-
Diggs,
Texans.
We'll
Texans.
just use Thielen because
Yeah, use Thielen there because now you can just go to the bottom.
well, this will be Joe Mixon.
Oh, yeah, good call there. And then you go Vikings, you go Stephon Diggs, and that is Randy Moss right there. I was always Moss over Rice. I know they're the 2 goats. I wanted to be Randy Moss so bad growing up.
I agree.
I came just short, though.
Yeah. You didn't have the same
I showed up
athletic
in
gifts.
7th grade practice, and I go, "Can I be a wide receiver?" They gave me 5 minutes. They go, "The linemen are over there." But
Yeah, they could hear your
They-
feet when you
they
were
knew it was
walking on
coming. They're
grass.
like, "Get out of here, kid. What are you doing?"
All right, where we want to go?
Bengals Patriots. What is screaming to me there?
Did Ocho Cinco play for the Patriots?
No idea.
It's weirdly that I want to say a tight end, but there's something screaming to me. Patriots Bengals. There's something on the tip of my tongue, and it's like, yeah, it's probably some big player like that. Hold that. We got Ocho Cinco. We can come back to it. All right, Falcons always seem to give us a little bit of problems here. Does Matthew Judon?
Yeah.
Does he work Falcons
He
Patriots?
does.
Okay, Matthew Judon.
Shout out Matthew Judon.
Yeah, great first
Grand
name.
Valley State's finest.
There you go. All right, that's a deep cut.
I played against him in college.
You played against Matthew Judon in college?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a freak.
I played.
He hit our quarterback so hard that he missed 2 weeks because he had to get his appendix out.
We played Mountain Union when they had Cecil Shorts and Pierre Garcon.
Yeah.
Is Texans Falcons? Is that Jeff Okuda? Or am I making that up?
I don't know about the
I don't know.
Texans.
I thought he was on the Lions.
He was.
He
He's
got
been well
drafted
traveled,
by him.
actually. I don't hate your rip there.
Well, we'll put it in the back pocket.
It's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh no! No! Oh my gosh! The quarterback for the Texans, Matt Shaw. Matt Schaub works there. 1,000.
He played for Falcons?
100%. 100%.
I hope this is wrong.
I know.
I know.
That.
He's said that so many
I
times.
know.
Okay, good. All right, nice job. Nice job. Nice job. All right, I like the Ocho Cinco.
Did he play
riff
for the
there.
Patriots?
I want to say yeah.
Or was that?
He could have. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be someone else.
There is something else.
Did Mike
screaming at me.
Gesicki ever play for the Patriots? Or am I just making that up?
That's it.
Right? Didn't
That's
he?
it. It's Mike Gesicki. It's Mike Gesicki.
Like,
That's
you're
'cause
not
they
just
got him from there. That's why. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. It's Mike
Has he
Gesicki.
played for the Patriots yet?
I know he
No,
played.
he was.
He
at
re-signed
New
with the Bengals, but he was with the Dolphins. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think if I'm mixing it up.
1,000%.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
1,000%.
1,000%.
You're sure you're not
Mike
mixing it up
Gesicki.
with the Dolphins?
No, he left the Patriots to come to the Bengals. Click it.
All right.
Bravo.
Yeah,
it was Shadow
Shannon
Shosingo.
Johnson.
Nice job. Nice job. Well done. We had that circled, baby. I love it. All right, wrap things up. We're going to get ready for game 3 for the Cavs and the Pacers. We'll do it next. I appreciate everybody joining us on this week's edition of the Fontana Show. If you missed it, you can go back and check it out on YouTube, Big Play. Our clips are on Instagram. The full show is also on Twitter, X, at Matt Fontana Show. So happy to have Danny Cunningham with us this week. He's Ryan Tyler. I am Matt Fontana. Before we get to the game, Dan, tell everybody we're Locked On Cavs. You can find them all the outlets, Spotify, YouTube. YouTube is where I usually go.
Everywhere, really. That's interesting. Everywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify,
I like
anywhere
seeing
else.
you.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, look at me. YouTube as well, of course. Basically, wherever you listen to anything, you can listen to Locked On Cavs.
It's the best. You've been covering this team for a long time. You've been there all season. We're here. Obviously, a must-win game. Let's not get this twisted. Game 3. I guess to not rip the Pacers for a second because they've played extremely well. Yes, Halliburton's been fine. Nemhard's fine. Obi Toppin fine. That's where I come back. Like, Miles Turner's had, I think, an above-average series so far. Like, I'm going to go back to the star power. I think we get this in Game 3, and I honestly still think we get the series. Call me crazy.
I think that there are reasons to feel better about the Cavs, despite the fact that they're down 0-2. I know it doesn't feel great right now because of what happened on Tuesday, but I think that the Cavs have a better chance than you might think being down 0-2 in this spot. It's only happened 5 times. And listen, the Celtics lost last night in Game 2. They're down 0-2 as well. One of these two teams is going to come back and win this series. I very firmly believe that. I don't know if it's going to be the Cavs. Don't know if it's going to be the Celtics. But I'd be stunned if neither one of them does this.
Well,
I really do like the Cavs' chances on Friday night in Indy.
And I think you talk about those comparisons. I'd be a lot more afraid of the Knicks. I'm a lot afraid of Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby and certainly Jalen Brunson versus kind of what the Pacers have. Cavs get somebody back. I think they get it done. Ryan, how you feeling heading into Game 3? You think we get Game 3 and obviously would have a good chance at the series then?
I feel pretty good. I mean, if you were to tell somebody before the series started that the Cavs could win 2 at Indy, I don't think anybody would mock that. I think it's very possible, and obviously it's all dependent on health, but I still think I think it's a better chance of them coming back than the Knicks have of holding on to their 2-0 lead personally. I feel pretty good. I don't think there's much reason for pessimism. Obviously, there is reason to be pessimistic. You're down 0-2, but I actually think you're in a decent spot for the Cavs.
You get a guy back, one of those 3 back. You get another one back a little bit later. We'll get it done for the Cavs. Still, enjoy the run, enjoy the playoffs. Appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll talk to you next week. For Danny Cunningham, for Ryan Tyler, for Pure AV, our friends at Fairway Ford and Garage Beer. I'm Matt Fontana, and as always, take it easy.